I chose to do my research paper on gender differences in online education or online learning environments. In the introduction, I think online education is not going away anytime soon. It's only going to become more and more prominent in students' opportunities to learn. And given the flexibility to meet various students' needs, like I said, it's only going to become more and more a core component of high school students' learning. As educators, we have always been taught that there are different ways males and females learn in the classroom, but how does this gender affect students in the online environment? There's limited research in this context, so it was kind of interesting to find articles relating to this, and it was somewhat difficult. The only one I had here was done in a little country off the coast of Africa that I had to try and apply to my context. All right. So while research shows both genders of millennials use technology and prefer to have more interactive and collaborative learning environments, it's important to realize that what works for one gender may not work for the other. Um, Males tend to use technologies to learn and contribute to online discussions, whereas women tend really to view technology as a way to socialize. So that's important when designing online environments. The hypothesis of the study was that factors affecting satisfaction within online learning would differ for millennials by gender because of their differences in online learning styles and learned behavior. Again, we've had a lot of studies done on gender differences in the classroom, but how does that translate to online learning environments? The method of this study was set at a place called Mauritius, which is an island off the southeast coast of Africa. It was chosen because of the vast multi-ethnic population as well as the gender profile. The undergraduate students were in two focus groups comprising of 8 students per group, and they were asked to describe their perceptions of factors that influence their satisfaction in online courses. These discussions were then recorded, and 7 common themes developed between all of the students. And based on these 7 themes, a 29-question survey was created to be handed out to a campus-wide online class with a total enrollment of 927 students. And they did get over a 90% return response rate, so the findings were pretty comprehensive. So what were these results? The results showed that both genders demonstrated the same behavior as participants of online learning, going against the hypothesis. So there was really no gender differences in an online learning environment. They found that the satisfaction between both genders was influenced by the same 3 factors, which was reputation, physical infrastructure, and instructor empathy, which was completely different than previous studies suggesting that satisfaction was better linked to cultural differences than gender. So that's why they took these kids, students that were in different Eastern cultures, and we need to apply them to Western cultures. So again, it needs to be replicated in the United States. So how did I apply these findings? Well, I think it's important that the reputation of the class is very, very important, and the infrastructure being the infrastructure of the course setup, I absolutely agree, is very important to the satisfaction of the students. That for me, physical education is not always that they don't always put a lot of value in that, so I have to create that kind of reputation, and the infrastructure has to be of the course has to be created in a way that it does apply to all individual learners. Instructor empathy is always important for students because students don't learn from teachers they don't like, and to make sure that the research links with the material of the course by examining the importance of course structure and communication. And then finally, by adhering to the findings of this research, the teacher can better apply the blended teaching competencies from the INACOL framework, which are mind, sense, qualities, adaptive skills, and technical skills. So what I took from this and how I applied this is that the online learner satisfaction was based on communication. So setting up communication structures for the students to students and the teachers to students, and creating an online presence. By the structure of the course, by creating assessments and creating the course that applies to visual learners, kinesthetic learners, blended learners, things like that. And then again, just creating the reputation of the course by making things authentic and applicable in the real world setting.